Hello, everyone. My name is Delicia Williams, and this is my Strengths Across Development assignment for Social Work 660 Assessment of Individuals class. The event that I have identified in my childhood that influenced who I am today. Um, Actually, there are a few events that occurred during my childhood that have influenced who I am today, but I will do my best to summarize and walk you through them in the time frame for this assignment. I have three aunts that have been a huge part of my life. My mother's oldest sister took me and one of my cousins to see the movie Annie. The movie came out in the early 80s, and it is one that I will never forget. We even went back to the remake that came out a few years back. But I talked to my aunt for years about this movie. The plot of this movie sparked a fire in me that led me to believe that I wanted to become an advocate for disadvantaged people, especially children. The treatment Annie and other residents experienced while in the group home made me mad, and I wanted to know what I could do to correct this situation. To know me as a child is to know that when I get mad, I'm ready to fight. But thank God for growth. But although Annie's story ended with her being placed in a wealthy home, not all kids are as fortunate. I have realized during my adult life that not all kids grow up with a support system like the one that I had. My mother was 16 years old when she got pregnant with me, and she had a very supportive mother as well as three sisters to help her. For this reason, I take it personally and do everything I can to make sure the children I interact with can identify a classmate, a peer, church member, relative, neighbor, etc. to have in their lives when the department closes its case. The state that I was in when the Annie movie came out is, according to Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, it placed me in his fifth stage, which is the identity versus role confusion. During this stage, it's known as the dreaded preteen or teenage years. There are also the exploratory years, where identity is formed and experiments happen. During this time, teens also consider a direction for their lives and ask, "Who am I?" Peer pressure is also present during this time, and it seems to be a vital stage where a mentor is needed. The next question asks to explain how the social environment impacted my experience. At that time, when the movie came out, my mother and I lived in the housing projects. There were some natural concerns with this environment as we had a lot of single parents as neighbors, and there were a lot of latchkey kids. There were unspoken rules that needed to be maintained, and these rules included coming straight home from school, do not go outside until my mother came home from work, no friends allowed in the home, do not answer the door when home alone, defend myself when possible, because there were a lot of fights, and honestly, some of them I was involved in. But again, thank God for growth. Um, Inside, when the street lights came on, and naturally to get low if the shooting started. Some of the strengths that I identified during this time frame, there's not a lot of them, but their impact is just as large. I did have a supportive family. Like I stated, I had my aunts that were involved. Um, Also, my family encouraged me to continue my education after high school. Um, I was also motivated to not let my environment dictate my future. Involvement in extracurricular activities such as band and social clubs. And then my faith and spirituality was also a strength during this time. Just really nothing has changed during that time. I continue to rely on those strengths. And as I became an adult, and the support of my family and faith remained a big part of my life. Education is also very important to us, as majority of us also have college degrees, and we encourage our children to look towards their future and not at their social environment.